Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're talking all about eyelashes. I wanted to just make a video talking about some tips and tricks that I've learned throughout the years on how to apply lashes, how to make them look more natural, and how to blend them into your natural lash. So first and foremost, hi, I am Denise. If this is your first time joining me, thank you so much for checking out my video. If this is not your first time and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button so you can get notifications on when I upload, along with just becoming part of the family, you know, just join the family. Also, don't forget to hit that like button if you like these types of videos, or if you want to drop me a comment below and leave me any suggestions or just some feedback. It's always greatly appreciated. I wanted to make this video because I'm always getting questions on how to apply eyelashes, if there's any like tips that I've learned along the way, and this is exactly what this video is about. All of the tricks that I've learned throughout the years, because I used to struggle. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can pull up some old ones because your girl used to struggle, and then I've just watched like a ton of videos and just applying lashes on other people and just applying them on myself. I found out there are a few things that definitely make your life easier if you've never used lashes, or if you have used lashes and you just want to have some tips so that you are able to do this whole process. This video is going to help you so that you can become an expert at applying lashes in the comfort of your own home. So, okay, let's jump into it. So the first thing that you want to do is, of course, pick your lashes. So that is step one, picking a lash that works for your eye shape, because everyone has different eye shapes. There's hooded eyes, almond shaped eyes, downward eyes. There's a ton of different eye shapes. So picking something that works for you. For myself, I have slightly hooded eyes, and I feel like lashes that are really heavy on the ends just don't look good on my eye shape. I feel like it kind of drags my eyes down and just makes them look more closed, and I already don't have like the biggest eyelid, so I kind of stay away from those lashes. I like my lashes to be feathery and kind of different lengths and kind of wispy, but I also like the concentration of that sometimes to be in the center of the lash. I think that that's the way my eyes, they look the best, but everyone has their own preference, so that's just a quick little rule. That's something that you can apply if you find yourself not liking the way that your eyelashes look. So finding a lash that works for your eye shape. So I already have my eyelashes on. I'm using Bombshell by Pur today. They have this cute little kit for their holiday collection, so I decided to use those because I really like these lashes. So after you pick your lash, if you're not sure where to get lashes from, there are a ton of brands. If you are not familiar, Lily Lashes has good lashes, Pur Cosmetics has really good lashes, House of Lashes, the drugstore Ardell makes some really great lashes. You can find them at like Target, Walgreens, Rite Aid, whatever is close to you. That's where you should start if you're not comfortable with lashes. Go with something super natural, something that'll make your life a lot easier. And also you want to pay attention to the band. You don't want to go with anything super thick. So after you grab your lash, you just want to take it out of the little case. And you'll notice on lashes, they always give you a little bit of an extra tag right on the end. That's so you can lift the lash out of the tray. But when I started wearing lashes, I didn't realize you were supposed to cut those. I didn't realize you were supposed to cut lashes at all. So I would wear my lashes that were way too long for my eye, and my eyes would look crazy because the lash was way too big for my eye shape. So you want to cut the lash. First, you want to cut off just that tiny little tag, because that's excess. And when you see that, it looks more obvious that your lashes are not real when you have that little tag. You can tell that these aren't real, but still, you get my point. So you want to cut that off. If the lash is still too long for your eye, you want to put it on before you apply any glue, drop it on top of your eye, and you want to check to see the length of that lash compared to your eye. Now, if there's excess, you never want to cut it from the front of the lash, because you're taking away from the part that's that gradient, that's that nice soft, that kind of softens the lash so that it looks more natural. You want to cut it from the end, because this is where the longer hairs are going to be, and it looks more natural when you cut from the back end of that lash. So after you found your eyelash, you purchased them, you brought them home, you took a few deep breaths, and you're getting ready to apply this. You cut the lashes off, and now let's prep your lashes to be able to hold this lash. This is not one of my tips. This is just something that you should do regardless, because it just makes it look more natural. I always apply mascara and curl my lashes first before I even do anything. So there are a few tools that you are going to need to achieve the perfect lash application. So let's jump into those before we go into the whole process of applying them. So the first thing you want to do, you want to grab tweezers. You also want to take your favorite mascara. You want to grab your lash glue. You also want to grab an eyeliner. If you are doing some type of wing liner or any type of line on top of your eye, you want to use that same product. So I use the liquid liner, so that's the one that I grabbed. You want some small scissors, and you want a lash curler. So you prep your eyes. So you're applying mascara, because let's say you did your makeup, you got a little bit of powder on your lashes. You don't want to lock that in by applying false lashes on top of that, because all that's going to do is just show that there's powder on your lashes, and it shows that separation between the false lash and your natural lash. So give your lashes a little quick dusting, and then you're going to go in with mascara after you curl your lashes. So I do the top lashes first, and then I go in and do the bottom mascara, but it's a preference. You guys do whatever works for you. So after you want to do that, you want to apply a thin layer of glue to the entire lash band. Very thin. I know that it sounds good if you apply more glue that it'll last longer, but applying more glue isn't going to do that. It's just going to make it messier, and it's going to make it more obvious, because that glue will not necessarily get completely matte, and then you'll be able to see that distinction. So just a thin layer of glue. Now, this is one of my little tips, which is one of my favorites. And after I've been doing this, I have never had an issue with my lashes lifting. After I let that set, because that is something that you have to do. If you apply lash glue directly to that band and go right into your eye, the lash will not stick. You have to give that time to get tacky. While my lashes are getting tacky, I prep my natural lash to be able to hold the falsies. So after you apply your thin layer of glue, you're gonna prep your lashes, and then you're gonna go back to the lash. You're gonna take that same lash glue, and you're gonna put a dot on both ends, and then you're gonna let that sit for like 15 seconds. After that sits, then you're ready to apply your lashes. Now, there are people that use tweezers and there are people that don't use tweezers. Personally, I feel like tweezers makes my life so much easier, because I literally grab the lash in the center. I can get as close to that band as I like, and then it's super easy to put on. So before I put that on, especially when they're new lashes, something else that you want to do. This is one of my favorite tips. I like to bend that lash band. And what that's doing is basically loosening up that lash band so that it hugs your eye a lot better, and you have less of a chance of that lash lifting. So you're taking a few precautions before you even go into the lash application to make sure that this bad boy does not lift when you're out on a date, or you're at work, or you're wearing these out and trying to be a bad bitch, that these lashes are not lifting on you. So after you apply the glue, the 2 dots is your first reinforcement, and then you're going to just bend that lash band, and that's going to give you that second layer of protection when applying your lash. You grab your tweezers, and you're just going to drop that lash right in the center. You're going to tuck the end of the lash, and then you're going to tuck the front of the lash. I like to use my finger, just go through that to make sure that I feel that like slight wetness, and making sure that it's all touching my skin. So now the lash is on. Yes! So when I go in with my lashes, something else that I like to do is use a handheld mirror. This is the mirror that I use. This is the Reiki Loves Reiki. This is like their little handheld. It has a light on it. It's so freaking cute. This is also what I travel with. I used to carry like the big one, this one right here. I used to take this one with me, but now I just travel with this one because it has the same light power, and it's obviously handheld. So when you take this mirror, you want to put the mirror lower, because when you hold this mirror like this, you're able to see your natural lash line, so you can put the lash right on top of that. Because sometimes you'll notice if you don't put it right on top of your lash line, you'll notice that separation. So that's not something that you want. You want your lash to be placed directly above your natural lash so that it looks perfect and that you're able to kind of squeeze them together. So after you put your lashes on top, you're going to use the same tweezers that you apply them with, and you're going to pinch your lashes along your lash line. And what that's doing is helping your natural lashes and the falsies become one. Because you don't want your lashes to kind of just be sticking out there and then for the lash to be on top of that. So I curl them first so they mimic the shape of the false lash. And then I go in and I pinch them so that they're one lash. Another tip that I like to tell people is to use clear lash glue. They also make black lash glue. It's something that I have never been a fan of. So I have a clear one right here. This one is by Pure, and I have the black one here from House of Lashes. I just find that clear glue is more forgiving. It's a lot easier to use. And if you happen to mess up and don't place it in that perfect spot, it's okay, because that glue, although it goes on, it looks like a bluish shade, it turns clear in a few seconds, and that's when you know that the lash is ready to apply to your eye, once that glue is no longer that like blue shade. I like to use clear glue. They make black glue. I don't think I've ever reached, I might have used it like once if I was not able to find my glue, but I never reach for black glue, because even now, sometimes I feel like I don't always place it in the right spot, and I want to go back and I want to fix that and not have to fix my entire eye look. Now, this was originally not supposed to be this huge wing. It was supposed to be this cute little kitten wing. It was supposed to be super tiny and very like subtle and natural. Did not happen. One, I just kept getting bigger and bigger, so I had to do the other one to match that. So that's why I have these huge wings, but I think that they kind of work with today's video, so it works. Now, after you apply your lashes, they're sitting on top, you've merged them with the tweezers, everything looks good. Something else that I like to do is take black eyeliner, the one that I did my look with, and I like to conceal the line, because sometimes clear glue does have this sheen to it, and you can kind of see where you place that glue, and that's another indicator that you're wearing falsies. So if you want that to completely go away, use that same eyeliner that you used and just go over top, and that will conceal that glue. Now, I have another black eyeliner trick, but this is to tightline your eyes. Underneath, if you're doing something very like sultry, you don't want to just leave the waterline completely blank, because you'll be able to see that skin, and then it'll just be more obvious that your lashes are not real, especially when they're super long and hella fly. People are going to know that they're not yours. So another thing that you can do to completely conceal those is grab a black pencil. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eyeliner in Perversion. I've been using this one for probably a decade. Now, this one I like to tight line my eye with, and you're just going to go in, a few strokes of that, and it looks so much better. I don't know what it does, but it just brings the entire look together. It just closes that tiny space that you have underneath your lashes, and it makes it completely black so that everything looks like one. Something else that I look for in a lash. So we're going back to just looking for lashes. I like to find a lash that has a flexible band. Some lashes, and more so the dramatic lashes or the lashes that are super inexpensive, will have a very thick band. The thicker the band, the more you feel the lash, and the harder it is to apply and keep on. My personal experience, everyone has different experiences with thicker bands. I personally like something that's a little bit more flexible, and you can even find them in a ton of lashes. Now, I feel like a lot more people are gravitating towards flexible bands because they are so much more comfortable. They feel extra light on the eye. So all you have to do is literally look at the band. If it's very thick, like a centimeter or two, then you're probably going to feel it more, and it's going to be harder to like bend and to make sit comfortably on the eye. If you find something really flexible, that's a lot easier to use than using something that's a little bit thicker. And my last tip for applying lashes. This is actually something that I learned from my friend Foinika. She talked about this. Her handle is Exterior Glam on Instagram. And this is how she checks that her lashes are in the right place. And when I tell you, it is genius. So what you need is 2 handheld mirrors. So you're going to put one below and one on top. And what you do is you literally look at the band and make sure that it's sitting right on the eye. So this is something that you should do immediately after, and I got carried away and it was supposed to talk about it earlier, but you guys get it. This is something that you do right after you apply the lash before the glue sets. You want to make sure that that lash is in the right place. After she talked about this tip, I'm like, why have I never thought about this? So that's something that I do every single time I wear lashes, because every once in a while you may place it almost perfectly, but right in the center it may not be stuck, or on one of the ends it might be lifting. And if you can catch that right away, it's a lot easier to fix rather than trying to like apply glue once it's dry and trying to hold it there for 30 seconds. So doing that trick has definitely saved me so much time. Thanks, girl. Thank you so much for talking about that on Instagram. That's the one thing I love about social media. You're always able to like find new tips and also to gain new knowledge, because I literally had never even thought about that. And then after I saw her tip, then I started doing it and incorporated it into my routine as well. So that is the full video, guys. I hope that these tips were easy to follow, and I hope that that demo came in helpful. It took me forever and a day to record. I don't know why my camera was giving me a hard time with focusing, but we got it done, sat down, recorded this part, and I'm so excited for this video. I don't know why, because I feel like this is something people have been asking me for so long. So I hope that these tips were helpful. If there is anything that you guys have never thought about or something that you're going to start incorporating, let me know down below. And thank you once again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.